I'm Erin Lawler Patterson, the Goodness Chick. I'm an international speaker, life coach, author, and proud part of the Mental Health News Radio Network. Join me on the journey of empowering you to kick butt in life, not get kicked by life, addressing mental health, relationships, self-care, and giving back. So one of my goals for the upcoming year is to read one book a week, coming up with 52 books at the end of the year. And I'm kind of excited. I hopped on Goodreads about a month and a half ago. And with that, have kind of built some momentum with getting excited about reading as much as I can. And if you're one of those people who is excited about reading, looking for personal challenge, or on the other end of it, looking for that perfect gift for somebody that you love, a friend you care about, a relative, perfect gift to keep in mind is a good read. All right. I encourage you to hop on Amazon and check out one of my books. First is Peace, Love, and Goodness, Lessons from the Drug Lady. And second is A Higher Level of Goodness, Lessons from the Drug Lady. Both books that are all about personal challenge, the power of kindness, self-care, and living our life authentically. Something I think everybody can gain something from. And there's just something about being aware of what we put in what we read, we put into our minds. And if you're looking at something that just jumps starting your year or somebody that you care about their year, check it out on Amazon. My third book's going to be out in February. Holy cow, I can't believe it. In just a few months. And that is Around the World with the Goodness Chick. So this is a great way to get those reads in before the third book comes out. And with that, it being the end of the year, it's officially December. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how quick this year went. But with that, we are now going full force with the holiday season. In just a few weeks, Hanukkah will be starting and Christmas. So there's a whole lot to kind of pack in a relatively short amount of time. And one of the things I wanted to hit on today is looking at the holidays in the way of kind of adjusting things. And some of you might be on the same path of what I'm delving into, and others, this might be kind of a different door, an angle at looking at things. So with the holiday season, Hanukkah, Christmas, there's a whole lot of pressure, whether it's personal pressure that we put on ourselves, whether it's family members or kids or our loved ones, just society, commercials that we watch going anywhere. It's like things are, have been wrapped up in gifts, and Christmas trees and menorahs since, probably the past 6 weeks, right? And it's like stuff, lots of stuff. And so there's nothing wrong with buying gifts for people. Okay. I'm going to kind of take a step back and definitely convey that. Nothing absolutely wrong with it. But sometimes there can just be a lot of excess that goes on, a lot of buildup and momentum that goes towards the holiday season that we get almost ensnared in the pressure of getting the stuff. Our kids or even adults where it's, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? What do I have to get this person in the list? And again, gifts can be a beautiful thing, right? But sometimes we can get into this cycle of where it's too much, or it's like, what happened to that present, that 30 days later just isn't used anymore, right? Or isn't needed. It's now under the bed. It's you stepped on it, it broke. And what I want to focus a little bit today is about the power of experience over material items. All right. And again, there's nothing wrong with getting gifts. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's something really beautiful. I started, I was thinking the other day, some of my most meaningful memories when it comes to around the holidays, not one of those had to do with something I ever received. Not one. As a kid, some of my favorite memories were with my parents and my sisters schlepping out, right, like in the super duper cold tundra, and going out in the snow and chopping down our own Christmas tree. And it was like, there was one year, I would have to say it was like a 12-foot Christmas tree. It was ridiculous, right? It was like one of those Christmas trees that the lot wasn't selling. It was actually friends of ours, neighbors. And they weren't selling the Christmas tree. Nobody was getting a 12-foot Christmas tree, but hey, let's do it. And it was the decorating, the music that we listened to, the smells. And that's one of my most powerful memories. It was experience of Christmas, right? When it comes to my family with my kids, I think about Christmas Eve service and holding the candle and the reflections of my family members' faces, Jordan and Taylor, my husband, and Jack when he would sit still, and singing hymns and getting ready for Christmas. And nothing at all revolved around a present. Most of the time I can't even think about different things I've received in the past. I can't. And that's just my memory and all that jazz, but it's around experiences. And I think I'm confident of, if we kind of take a step back and think, you know what, how can I incorporate experiences a little bit more into not even Christmas or Hanukkah, but even, birthdays and different celebrations. It's kind of cool what happens, right? And I'm going to kind of give you some examples, because we do, sometimes the pressure can almost be suffocating of, what do I have to get? What do I have to do? And what, my kid or my best friend or my spouse or whoever wants, and there's nothing, again, wrong with gifts, but just when we kind of angle it a little bit differently and have a different game plan, it's kind of cool how we can actually start traditions of our own that are about experiences. And I'll give you some examples here. It could be, you have a box, whoever it is unwraps the wrapping paper and the ribbon, and in it is a coupon, right? We're going to go a day trip. We're going tubing, right? We're going to go tubing up to the Poconos, or we're going to go, looking out for manatees on the pontoon boat. And it's a little coupon, good for one, or we're going to a concert, right? Or we're going to do a night of we're axe throwing, right? I mean, I'm all about some axe throwing. What? Great release of anxiety and stress. And you're with people. It's the basic kind of bottom line is conversation, time together without our phones, without our day planners, without, the constant buzzing and pulling from outside sources that just take away from experiences. There's something beautiful just about being together, right? Before the holidays, hey, a week before Christmas is here, we're going to go around the neighborhood, or we're going to go around this area, and we're going to go caroling together, printing out, I mean, seriously, it's easy, 5 different Christmas carols, and we're going to rock them out. We're going to go as a family to, a retirement home, and, you give them a heads up, and we're going to go carol for 20 minutes. And then we're going to go, out for ice cream or go out to eat or whatever it is. And knowing not everything when it comes down to experiences has to even cost money. We could get really creative about just being together, jumping in the car. And sometimes that can create a little bit of anxiety and stress, and we're going somewhere, but you're being together, right? We're going to go sledding. We're going to go, do a treasure hunt somewhere. We're going to do something, and bottom line, being together, right? Picking out a tree together, going to go, on another angle, it could be, hey, as a family, we're going to adopt a family for the holidays, or a young person for the holidays, and a lot of different grocery stores. You go to your local church or synagogue. A lot of them have the opportunity that you can, get a number or a name, the first name of somebody or a family, and it has, what their interests are, and go shopping. It's so cool, right? Going out and looking for somebody else, right? And especially the next week, right? We're post Black Friday now, but there's a heck of a lot of deals out there, and taking on somebody else. And when we get ourselves and our kids and our loved ones excited about the external of like somebody else, something else, it's really neat, the momentum that can build up, that it's like, it's not about the stuff. It's not about the stuff and the tinsel and the wrapping paper and all the stuff that kind of ends up in the trash, right? It's experiences. And there's something really beautiful about that. I mean, one of my favorite things about the Christmas holiday is Christmas Eve service. And I've had Christmas Eve services, I mean, now actually like all around the world. Last year we were in Jerusalem for Christmas Eve. And it's beautiful where we allow ourselves to just, whatever that is, allowing ourselves to experience and be moved. And it's like, I was in the birthplace of Christ. And it was like, I remember walking down the streets, the cobblestone streets, and, there's lights, and there's, like, holy cow, this is where the birthplace of Christ. Oh, it doesn't get any more gnarly than that. And I had that, that was awesome. And it was just a cool experience, a very humbling and like overwhelming and beautiful. But bottom line is, what is it for yourself that it's like, that's just, let's rock out an experience. Let's get my heart challenged. Let's rattle it up a little bit, and just being with the people that we love, those experiences. And I know the holidays are not easy for a lot of people. So it's projecting, it's grabbing coffee with that person, man, you miss, it's catching up with somebody and, hey, you know what, let's go in together and pick out from the tree at our local grocery store. We're going to adopt a kid together and go in together on that. And the more we kind of allow ourselves to get excited about the external aspects of this time of the year, it's kind of a really amazing thing that what can happen within our hearts. And it's really, really neat. I think it's also, coming to our own decisions and saying, how do we want to handle the holidays? I'm going to kind of throw this out to you as somebody who's worked with youth for years, as a parent. I think it's really important, and this is something, maybe you want to kind of reevaluate, that when our kids get presents, it's an exciting time. They go back to school, they talk about it. One of the things I learned years ago was that letting our kids know that if you get an iPad or you get that really cool video game or whatever it is that's kind of like, super awesome, right? There's nothing wrong with getting super awesome, but not saying that it's from Santa Claus, because you have kids all over the place. I don't care where you live. You got a kid, if not multiple kids within a classroom. They're not getting an iPad for Christmas, right? They're not getting the newest, PlayStation. They're not getting ABC. They're not getting them. And it's like, well, Johnny comes in and says, hey, look what Santa got me. And in the back of that kid's mind, which will probably never articulate it, is like, what did I do wrong that, Santa got me a pair of socks, right? Got a pair of Argyles. Got to love some Argyle socks. But that kid's thinking, I was either shortchanged or I did something wrong. So I always encourage parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles to say, you know what, this is from me. This is from such and such. And putting the Santa, kind of to the side where there, and you get your Santa toy, but it's just, a little lower notch, if you will, because there's a lot of kids who the holidays are tough for because money's tight. And this is where I say that the power of experience over stuff is really a beautiful thing, and we really can start traditions with that. Absolutely have your gifts around the tree, your 8 days of Hanukkah, but kind of putting a spin on it. And it's really neat when we begin to make that a tradition, and it's like looking forward to, what are we going to do? Kind of getting creative and excited. And it's like, okay, this is our budget. We're going to like rock it out and do this. And then the holiday season, right? The whole month of December can just be kind of like really awesome. And what are we going to do together? Or what are we going to do that's like just going to get away from the stressors and the anxiety, man? The holidays can be totally crazy train where we're just like, blah, 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 blah. I was driving the other day. It was Friday. I actually went down to go see my aunt down in Delray. She's about an hour and a half south of me. And it was like, we're on the road, we're going. And it was like, seriously, people were crazy trained. I'm like, people like, holiday time, it is crazy. You just two hands in the wheel. Only looking, but it's like somebody's going to cut me off. Somebody's on my tail. I'm like, where are you going? Are you going to the hospital? Because if not, there's really no other, but people get nuts around the holidays and we lose sight. I'm not collectively saying this, but just a lot of people kind of, we get caught up in craziness. Like, and this is where the experience aspect of it can kind of just chill us out a little bit and allow us sitting around the bonfire and just talking with a cup of cider or hot chocolate, roasted marshmallows. I will promise you the people in your life will remember that a whole lot more than a new ABC or D. My opinion, I think I'm right with that one, but just the power and beauty of experiences. I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? Do you have traditions that kind of rotate a little bit around the center around this? Do you not? Do you think it's a great idea? Do you think it's I want to get your thoughts from that. Hit me up on Goodness Chick's Facebook page. Shoot me an email, aaron@goodnesschick.com. We got another few weeks to dialogue about this, and I want to hear from you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you allow yourselves to step back and take some time to absorb in a really beautiful, less stressful way the beauty of the holiday season. I'm wishing you a week of peace, love, and true goodness, my friends.
If you enjoyed today's episode, there's a lot more encouragement and life-kicking strategies on goodnesschick.com.
Have a great day, my friends.